This is the Challenge USA. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Right Reality Podcast. My name is Steven.
And my name is Mixie. We are here to recap episode 11 of the Challenge USA Slippery Business. I wish that this episode was called So Many Potential Asses of the Week. I felt like I was watching All-Star Shore.
I worried for you watching this episode, honestly. I worried like how she was going to get through this, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm sure you guys did too. You're like, how is Mixie going to pick one ass of the week? Oiled up asses everywhere. There were so many things in this episode just drawing you in left and right.
It was insane. I mean, my brain couldn't function. I had to watch. This is the first time in a long time I had to watch the episode twice because I was so enthralled with ass that I just watched it one time through, just focusing on ass.
Enthralled with Ass would make a fantastic band name.
Oh,
and
yes.
I want to just start a band so that could be our band name.
I like that. I'm no talent musically, but I'm sure we could find something, maybe a cowbell.
I mean, I've heard a lot of bands on the radio or mumble rappers. They don't have any talent either. So
yeah,
we're
you're right
in that same thing, you know? Some of the music I hear at work, I don't know what the fuck it is. You know, I'm like, this guy's got a recording contract. Oh, yeah, he's a big star. How?
You and me
I'm
both.
Like, oh, I'm such an old man if I'm saying that, you know?
No, you're not. You just have taste. And that's far and few between anymore.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Guys, there are so many directions to start this episode in. There was asses. There was confusing soundbite. There was making out. Whoa. But, ladies and gentlemen, if we know anything about this show, we know we have to illuminate when it's Corey's Kids episode. And ladies and gentlemen, it took us a long time, but we got there. Our boy Corey has kids. It's the Corey Kids episode.
Yay, Corey's kids.
Congratulations, Corey and his kids.
Yeah.
What a moment. They finally got their TV airtime this year, and I'm very happy for them. They needed it. It was obviously a worry at the beginning. You're like, oh, is he going to go in? Then I was like, no, this is the move this year. They either win the elimination or the episode is not about them at any other point for some reason.
Uh-huh. You know, we saw a lot of Corey's kids. We also saw a lot of the girl that I think I might just hate the most this season, Chanel. I'm over her. And there's a lot in this episode that we need to unpack about Chanel. And Corey started this episode. He referred to her as a strong competitor. What is she doing that makes you think that? I do not understand. I want to understand. I do. I don't understand it. Honestly, her losing in this daily is even more fuel to the fire that she's not good. She outweighed Michaela. She was stronger than Michaela. Like, it is embarrassing that she lost to Michaela at the end in that daily. She should be embarrassed. And Corey's walking around saying she's strong.
I want to know if she did something to production because production is burying her with her sound bites this year.
Oh.
Let me set up the beginning of the episode because she said something at the beginning of the episode around when Corey's like, oh yeah, she's pretty good. I was like, are we talking about the same person, my guy? She said, we've been able to win daily challenges.
Steven, pause. Roll that full audio clip.
I don't really trust Cassidy that much, and I don't really trust Chris that much. But guess what? We've been able to continue to win daily challenges, and I just hope that we're all going to make it to the end together.
What is this we shit, Tonto?
Who is we? Because it's not you. You are not involved in the we. Haven't seen you do shit.
It's like the CEO of the company who like constantly hangs out in Cabo and is on all these retreats and is like, we've accomplished a lot this year. It's like, no, we've done it. You've done nothing, sir. Just because you're a part of it doesn't mean you get credit for it. We all have that boss. We've all had that boss.
The only thing she should be proud of this season so far is that she's somehow put the smoke in the mirrors to allow people that are there to think that she's worth anything. honest to God, if she goes, I'm willing to put money down at this point, Steven, if you want to bet against it, which I don't think you will. It'd be a bad bet. The second she hits sand, she's out. The second she hits sand, she's out. I don't care what it is. If it's a strength-based elimination and she goes against freaking Cassidy, I think she's out.
Here's the thing, because I love a good foreshadow here. The foreshadowing was when she also said, I have a lot of strength and muscle on me. And I'm like, God, please let this be another embarrassing moment where she's like, I just don't remember another time where the show has constantly put somebody saying those things only for them to like lose when they talk so big.
It's giving Josh.
Festival and Josh, you're right. Baby Hulk and Josh when they've done that. But this is like week after with somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, I'm really good at basketball. I used to play all the time.
I'm great rebounder.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She's a great rebounder.
Couldn't do that. I think last week there was another one. This week was another one. And then I'm like, what? I'm just really glad Cassidy has seen all the way through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the way through it. Just like, but in her defense, like she made an alliance with two really good people.
Oh yeah, that's the only credit I will be giving her as of current. I love nothing more than Cassidy fucking picking her ass up and slamming her on that mat. Cassidy just rose in my rankings just by that one action alone. Because I was kind of iffy on Cassidy, but that was needed. It was necessary. It was beautiful. It really sucked in the daily. I will say, big fan of the daily. Liked it a lot. Felt like old challenge. Felt really good. But because it's individuals, they just it was unfair.
It was totally unfair.
At the beginning of these, it was just like, clearly they're going to get Chris out. Clearly they're going to go for Tori. And then they're going to go for Cassidy. Like, and then they're going to go for Tyler. Like, it was just kind of a waste in the beginning. But towards the end, it got real exciting.
This daily needed to be 5 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago.
Yes.
Second episode of the season. That's where this needed to be, right? That's where it, like, if you're going to do this, great, but I want to see like 15 people in this. I want to see 12 guys, right? All competing when the numbers are like somewhat even, like a Royal Rumble where it's just, you can't like have a strategy because there's so much going on, right? The girls one was far better than the men, right?
Yes.
They really went for it. There were some WWE style moves in this with the ladies like just backflipping each other, landing on each other. I think at one point, Josh and Chris 69'd each other during the middle of this daily.
So much happened in this daily. Again, so much ass. It was really hard for me to focus on what was going on. I really did struggle. But I loved it so much. And I need to take a moment, especially because Tyler did leave us at the end of this episode. That man is beautiful. That is a beautiful fucking man. I am so happy about the slow-mo oil compilation and even happier that I got some separate, just alone clips of Tyler. I definitely did not record them on my phone for a later time because that would be weird.
It would be weird because he might listen.
But I don't have that. So there's nothing. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, we're good then.
I'm just saying I didn't do that. Just for the record, that didn't happen.
Okay. Everybody, if you think Mixie
Write
did
that down.
She didn't do it. Write that down.
Yeah,
if
right.
You, like, we're kind of writing it in your phone yourself. You're like, that mix. Of course you would do that. No, you go delete that out. Back that out right now. How dare you?
I really want to touch on, there was a very specific part of this that I feel like might have gone over the heads of everyone, and there needs to be attention drawn to it.
Can I guess what that might be?
Oh, yes, please. Go for it.
Okay. Would it be TJ standing alone in the middle of the field with grass up to his waist, which just looked like a lost TJ? Was it that?
It wasn't, but I honestly liked that. It was Jungle Mr. TJ, the handler, BMX legend, Hall of Famer.
I have another guess. Could it be the multiple times that I think every cast member said, quote, Chris got jumped. Chris is getting jumped. They jumped Chris.
You're so right. They would not stop saying that.
Chris is getting absolutely jumped.
How many times did they say that?
It was ridiculous that the amount of times they said that. And you don't hear them saying that about Tori. Tori didn't get jumped. Everybody went for Tori, but Tori didn't get jumped.
No.
Chris got jumped.
Chris got jumped. Tori, no jumping, even though she clearly got jumped.
Yeah,
But it was like, oh, Chris got jumped. And I was like, whoa.
Shouts out to Chris, man. He put up quite the valiant effort. It was nice to see him continue to fight. This guy, the fight don't stop in Chris. It's impressive. But no, although these are great call outs, it is not what I am talking about.
Okay. What is it? Can you enlighten me now and the rest of the community?
Yes, I'll start with the question.
Okay.
What is worse than Baby Hulk dressed up like the Michelin Man?
Baby Hulk flexing his pecs, oiled up?
No, we got a new ITM outfit out of Baby Hulk, and I'm hoping, well, actually, I don't hope, but I would like for the listeners to be able to see this in the future. This motherfucker, I hate when he puts clothes on his body. He does a terrible job at it. This motherfucker has a pure white cashmere scarf on, and what's underneath it? A t-shirt. Is it cold or is it hot? Do you need a scarf or do you need a t-shirt because you're hot? Because you're doing both, and I don't understand why. It doesn't look good. You look like you put a t-shirt on and then you just grabbed a scarf and threw it on. What are you doing?
I must have missed that. Or my brain just said, no, don't pay any attention to this. Your brain is going to explode. Please don't hurt me.
I don't even know what he said. I don't even know what he was talking about. I couldn't even tell you what point. It's some point in the daily. It shows him, and he's wearing a fucking t-shirt with a cashmere scarf. And I wanted to frisbee my laptop off my balcony. I got so mad about it. It just, like, I hate when people do that. That's not a cool fashion thing. You look dumb.
I don't think I could pull off many of the outfits that Fessel tries to pull off.
He can't either. I was going to say, nobody's pulling it off. Nobody's pulling it off because it's not good. It's not an attractive thing. Oh my God. I was so mad about it. What is going through your head where you put on a t-shirt and you go, I need an accessory. I could put a hat on, maybe a necklace, maybe a chain, maybe a bracelet. Who knows? Maybe I could put big old headphones on my neck. No, I'm going to grab a cashmere scarf because it might get chilly, but the bottom half of my arms won't be cold, just the back of my neck.
Yeah, I wonder if he was rocking like shorts with the fit too.
Probably.
Like long
I would
pants.
assume so. In like flip-flops.
Yeah, no, he went with like the jogger pants and then flip-flops. So it goes warm, cold,
Yep.
legs warm, feet cold. So it's kind of regulating because he's a tall guy, you know? He's just trying to like even out his body.
Baby Hulk should not be buying his own clothing or dressing him. He is a baby. He needs help. Somebody help him. Don't let the toddler play around in the closet because this is what we get.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So next year production, please make sure that in the budget you put a stylist for Baby Hulk in there to buy some clothes for him because he's clearly failed himself a couple times.
Yeah.
I did like during this daily, I was like, okay, what are they going to do? And TJ, in the middle of the field, announces, we're going to get oiled up good and we're going to go there. And
Not bad. Good.
Not bad. Not bad at all, sir.
No.
And I go, oh, there's going to be some sexy montages here. No, not really.
There was until they panned to Johnny Bananas.
But was it? Like, was it?
I don't know. I saw Tyler.
I mean, they tried to give it to us. I just feel like nothing will beat Horacio on the bike from the final last year. Like, that's the bar now.
It is.
And
That's fair.
I was just hoping that there would be more super slow-mos of the guys doing it and like a better, and then they were just like, oh, let's make this a joke with Johnny. I was like, I appreciate the joke, Johnny. I appreciate the joke. But I was like, I feel like this is the moment where you could have given all the ladies wowzers in their trousers.
Yeah. I mean, Tyler gave it to me, but that was only a few select clips. It would have been nice to have like group hot stuff, but it didn't happen. You didn't get it from the girls. I didn't really feel like the girls gave much of a sexy montage either. It was just slow-mo oil, which was cool, but
yeah, that was going to be my next point, was like, I didn't get it from the ladies. Was the Tyler clip like after he had lubed himself basically from head to toe and he was standing back and you saw the tiny shorts? I was like, oh, he's actually got like a body on him.
Yeah. That I feel like that's the first time we really saw him.
Yeah.
And I was
without a hat
and
a beanie on. Yeah.
I was like, okay, Alyssa S., I see you.
It makes sense now. It makes sense. Yeah. I get it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the ladies weren't given it either. And I was like, again, another missed opportunity. This is what we want from the show. Show them oiling each other up. And then I was like, it's CBS. There's going to be somebody on Twitter figures that the challenge is trying to exploit women and it's all about selling women as sex tools. And I was just like, ah.
Well, that's when they rang Josh and they were like, hey, Josh, you're a huge fucking pussy. Can you get on camera and say you'd be more scared to be wrestling with the girls than the guys? Great. Thanks so much. He carried his weight with that one.
I mean, considering how the men fought, and by fought, I mean just stood in line to kind of wrestle each other, I would agree.
No.
I would agree. It would be a much harder job against the ladies because the ladies went after each other.
Name one girl that you are more scared of wrestling than fucking Baby Hulk.
Well, Baby Hulk
didn't
do anything.
Nope. That's not a name. Name one girl that you would be more scared to wrestle than Baby Hulk.
Am I a man in this scenario?
You are you. You are Josh. I'm sorry. You're Josh. You are Josh. You are built like Josh. You are Josh.
All of the women.
Well, okay. Your body is Josh. Your brain is not Josh.
Oh.
You have the body of Josh. You have the brain of Steven.
Desi and Michaela, because Michaela looked possessed.
You're more scared of them than an ex-football player whose now current job is to jump on trampolines and run into people in the air. They don't even have to be on the ground.
Until we got to the end where it was one-on-one, yeah. Because they just stood in line. That was the thing that I fucking hated about the men's thing.
Yeah.
Desi was like, oh, Fessie's not doing anything. He's just telling people, like, in what order to wrestle. I go, yeah, no shit. Like, I mean...
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, technically, it's a really good strategy.
It is.
Why am I going to waste my energy right now when there's probably a very high possibility that I'm going to be the last man up against somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
And he just stood around and was like, yeah, you guys go now.
And then he lost. I was happy to see Corey get the dub for his kids during the Corey's Kids episode.
Can you imagine Corey not winning during the Corey's Kids episode?
I think they would have timed the Corey's Kids phone call and the Corey's Kids reason for being there to a different episode. I think because he won, we got the Corey's Kids episode.
Well, obviously, but can you just imagine if it was like a random, like, oh, they used the bunny and they're like, okay, who's going to get the family story this week? Open the thing, take the ball out. Cassidy, you are safe. It's the Corey's Kids episode.
That's exactly what happened.
And then like he would have lost that week or whatever in the daily, and it would have just been really embarrassing, you know. Or they tell them before, like, okay, this is the episode we're going to put you on. And you're like, oh, great. And then you go to the daily and you lose, and the first thing you have to do is like, kids, I lost today. And they're like, Daddy, you suck. You know, that would have been really entertaining, I think.
That would have been fun if he called him crying and they were like, you're bad at this.
Yeah, just come home.
Josh is better than you.
Josh is so much better. Is Johnny Bananas still there? Oh, that's great. He's going to win the final anyway, probably, because that's all he does for a living, you know? But come home. But come home because, you know, we have a new baby who's like 8 weeks old that you left here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I did want to ask you, are you still out on Michaela? More, less, or same than last episode?
Just to make sure everybody knows. Everybody stop what you're doing. If you're driving, pull over. If you're working out on the treadmill, getting your time in, drop that thing to a 2. I am even further out on Michaela this week than I have ever been before.
Really?
So far out.
Why? I thought she took a step forward in this episode. Outside of like the Cassidy shit, she was being shitty and dumb on that. But the whole trying to put Tori in, she seems to be the only one that understands that now we are very close to the final. And if Tori gets to a final, it's going to be between Tori, Desi, and Michaela, in my opinion.
You don't make that deal 3 weeks ago.
Totally.
You made the deal. You have to follow through on the deal, especially when Tori's won 2 times.
But how can
you've won 1.
How can she do that when she's got 4 other alliances to keep in mind? I mean, she's got to break one of the alliances at some point. This is the point we're making.
I don't know. Maybe that's why this is a very different game. And Chanel actually said something kind of smart.
No.
And I almost passed out when she goes, this is like a really different game than like Survivor when you're doing. I was like, yeah, no shit.
No. Chanel said some stupid shit.
I know.
She said Michaela's like on this pedestal and she is not scared because she's not going to be up to like go against Tori. No shit. She won. She gets to do that. That's why you want to win.
Correct. But she wanted to do that last week too. And this
didn't.
week. She didn't do it because she was talked out of it because they made a deal. I tweeted out last night while watching the show because there was a lot of people who I think are new challenge fans who have come over from watching these people on Survivor. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them were saying kind of along the lines of what you said about like, this is it. You know, you can't be scared to do this. Oh, they're just weak. Or, oh, you're only
I don't think that, but I do think that somebody needs to make a play soon because it's not, if Tori goes to the final, they're all fucked.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. My thing is they made a deal that they were good. And it is a terrible strategy for you. And this is basically what Corey did, right?
Mm-hmm.
To say, okay, I am going to go back on my word because that in this show, we know is the biggest thing you can do. You go back on your word because what Michaela's thinking, I think rightfully probably for her in this scenario, she's thinking about right now. All these other players don't play 1 year at a time. They play like 3 to 5 years at a time.
Totally.
Because if you fuck somebody over now, you're going to pay for it for 3 to 5 seasons.
Totally.
Nobody's going to trust you. You're going to be putting in all the time. Like Michelle is still trying to get back into the good graces of like vets from what she did a few seasons ago, right? We've seen that with people who come in and are like, oh, we're going to take a big shot. And then just pop, 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 pop. They are destroyed for seasons. And so like Michaela doing that, obviously she was going to do that for safety. But now like she's like, oh, we should put her in. And the other 2 girls are like, yeah, but then they're going to vote one of us in.
Maybe you should have won the daily.
Maybe she shouldn't be, fucking over her alliance people. That would be for the woman who said,
care.
I know she doesn't care, but she's going to Chris. And it's like, a lot of people are scared about the moves you're making. You're moving weird.
Is she very contradictory? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Here's my thought on it. If she had made the decision that she was going to go in there with Corey and put Tori up, she's said the words now. She has said the words to Corey, I want Tori in. She cannot go back on that because even if, and as we saw, she did go back on it. She put somebody else in. She put Cassidy in, I think.
Yes.
She still said Tori's name. Corey went, and what did he do? Tell Tori immediately. Now Tori's like, fuck this bitch. She's dead to me. If you're going to say it, do it. You can't fall on that. And she should have done what she did with Fessy, which was, I get 1 pick, you get 1 pick. We are both doing 1 pick, and that is it. If Corey didn't want Tori, okay, fine. Then Corey has full reign of whatever guys she wants because Michaela doesn't really have any alliance with any of the guys.
No,
so
but
why does she fucking
isn't
care?
That kind of on her though?
Totally, but what I'm saying is that she should have, if Tori is coming out of her mouth, then she should have wrote it out and put Tori up. and let Corey do whatever the fuck that he wants. And it really should have been a smarter move for her because it doesn't really matter to her what guys go into the elimination. So it's a win-win for her. She has no one to protect on the guy's side, and she wants to get Tori out. So why she backed down from that, I think, was the stupidest thing that she could have done. If you're going to say it, you got to do it. Because you're saying it and it's already now out in the ether.
I understand that 100%. I think this, along with something that happened during the elimination, there's probably things behind the scenes we're not aware of. It's probably like you both have to agree on each name. It can't be like, unless you agree on the face of it, like you take one and I take one. And they go, sure, deal, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's probably some sort of language that production tells them, like, you both have to be okay with the name unless you're going to pick each other. That's never going to happen for Corey. But this is, again, why I think it was a bad deal for both of those teams to make that decision.
Yeah.
Tori probably shouldn't have made that deal, considering she was in power at the time.
Yeah.
And the three ladies probably shouldn't have made that deal either.
They didn't need more people.
There you go. They didn't need anybody else.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I think that they're all playing scared. I think Chanel knows she's terrible. I think Michaela is just trying to get to a final after her first season where she wrote a note and everybody fucking destroyed her. I think Desi is the smartest and best out of those three, but she feels a little alone because she knows those other two are absolute wild cards. And I think Tori's like, I'm the only girl vet here.
Right.
So I think that's why they did it. I don't agree with it. I think it was stupid as well. But if Michaela was going to say it, she needed to follow through with it. And you're right. There probably is some stuff behind the scenes we're not seeing. I think we got another flashback this episode. I don't remember what it was, but it was like showcasing something that had happened that made other stuff make sense to kind of tie it together. And I was just like, okay, just wish they had shown us this stuff prior and not like 15 minutes of people making eggs in the morning. But, who am I to judge that situation?
Yeah, unless we're doing an egg judging competition. And again, if you guys want us to do that, let us know. We can definitely get on that. We did that over at All Star Shore. So, yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Here's another thing that drove me crazy with Michaela that I think just continued to push me further out of her camp, which I kind of already was coming into this week. So I know you've said time and time again, you would love to live in this fantasy world that these people create for themselves that they live in, right?
Yep.
She was one of those people.
Totally.
So during the daily, they cut to her interview, obviously already knowing that she has won, right? She lived it. And she said she had the nerve, the audacity, if you will, to say, quote, as soon as Michelle puts her hands on me, it was time for her to go to the loser's bench, end quote. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, they're going to show Michaela. They're going to show her like picking up Michelle and like launching her out, or Michelle like coming for her, grabbing her hair. And then she just goes, no, bitch. And then like gets her in a headlock and then like judo kicks her out, right? Some sort of like cool John Wick style moment.
Mm-hmm.
What actually happened was Desi had full control over Michelle, and Michaela just comes in from nowhere and takes her motherfucking foot and like puts it over the thing and it's like, yeah, I got her out.
Yes. I also feel like the criteria of getting, quote, out was very fuzzy and very much just kind of like who they wanted to be out. Because that shot specifically, Desi's body was also out. Because she was pushing on Michelle, and the Michaela got the foot, but also pushed both of them. It didn't make any sense to me. Then Johnny Bananas and Tyler both were out at the same time for some reason, but then Fessy wasn't out. With Josh, it made no sense.
It's okay. I know we have watched 2 episodes of All Star Shore, and we're not allowed at All-Star Shore to go, this doesn't make sense because that's the magic of All-Star Shore.
That's the point.
So when we come back over here, it's like, oh, we should keep that same logic going, but it just enrages us a little bit more.
No, because this is the challenge. The whole point. The point of All-Star Shore is to get blackout drunk and do stupid shit. The point of this show is to do athletic challenges and dailies to prove your worth to win money. And that is why I care when things like this happen, where it's like, okay, money's involved. It matters who wins this. And you're just like arbitrarily deciding if somebody's out or not.
Couldn't agree with you more. I think that should be just like very specific. And this is why people have issues. Let's move to the last part of the female daily, which was our two favorite people, or at least my two favorite people competing. This was a battle. I'll say this. They both battled. I love that. I love that they didn't just kind of like play nice with it, and they were kind of, they really scrapped. They really scrapped with each other. Where you asked me a little while ago to like go into the role of Josh. I'm now going to go into the role of a Chanel here. I just lost to my alliance member, and my alliance member stands over me and takes her mouthpiece out and spikes it into my body. We're not an alliance anymore. Immediately done after that.
Yes.
I know it's the heat of the battle, but fuck no, you're not doing that to me.
I think what you're not taking into account is Chanel sucks.
Oh, I did forget that. I'm very sorry. Because remember, I was her in that moment.
Yes. So if Chanel didn't suck, then yeah. But Chanel needs this because this is, again, the only good thing she has done on this whole season
Was
is
getting
be in
on
this
an
alliance.
Getting on what looked like the only alliance in the house because it had every
Everyone.
female person on the show.
But now they're not. It's just Desi and Chanel and Michaela and Tori kind of, but not really because we tried to throw her in. And then we put balls on her. Yeah. But we were scared to put her in. The whole thing is just...
I do love later how... I'm laughing already thinking about this. When Michelle is brought into the room, when they're like determined, like, okay, like let's bring Michelle into the Tree of Life room or whatever the fuck they call it.
The secret garden, duh.
Sorry. And Michelle goes, oh, it's nice that they've brought me in. Maybe I'm like getting a layer of trust. I'm like, no, they need your vote.
Uh-huh.
Why do you think that?
Well, I think she got there eventually, and that's why she didn't vote with them.
Do you think that was the right move for Michelle?
Absolutely. Especially because of what you said. She did try to play this game a season or two ago whenever she was there, so she needs to reconnect with the vets. It was definitely a good move for her. I think at this point, like, she needs to go to Tori at the beginning of the next episode and be like, I know exactly who the two balls were, the three balls were. You need to know that it's these people. They tried to get me in. I didn't do it. Look at me. I'm a good Michelle.
1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. We said that last week. It should be Cassidy, Michelle, and Tori. They should have linked up at the beginning of this episode. It would have been 3-on-3 for that battle. It would have been great. They didn't do it. They didn't listen to us.
Yep. I don't know why. I don't know, like, again, what is actually going on that we're not seeing. Maybe they tried and they butted heads, or I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense. We need to touch on the party that happened after the voting because, man, was this needed. I mean, it is interesting that the club was in the house this episode. Throwback.
Whoa.
Throwback. They didn't even try to hide it this time. The club was in the house.
Yeah, it was.
It was at the kitchen table. We didn't even feel like going to a different room.
No, we didn't. That's where all the fun happens anyway.
Yes. Cassidy and Michelle making out.
Hot.
It felt good to watch it.
It did. It did. I tweeted and we put it on Instagram yesterday as well. This is what the show has desperately been missing for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
They have been missing people making out,
Drunk.
people getting blackout drunk,
Yep.
and just having fucking fun. And showing it to us. Because I
Yes.
think it does happen. but
I
they just
agree.
haven't been showing that to us.
Yeah, they think that we give a lot of fucks about like everybody talking to each other and saying the same thing over and over. It's gonna be a girl's day. It's gonna be a girl's day. Let's make it a girl's day. Let's make it a girl's day. Oh, we're gonna make it a girl's day. Okay, should I go talk to them and tell you it's a girl's day? It's a girl's day.
And then the guys are like, oh, we could pretend. We could pretend that it's Guy's Day. But then like really.
Like, just get drunk. Can we please just get drunk? Please just shut the fuck up and get drunk. And that is why, if you feel the same way we do, go watch All Star Shore.
God damn it, is it good?
It's all they do the whole time. Is this 5 seconds of Michelle and Cassidy is All Star Shore. Go watch it.
And then they do like funny challenge stuff.
Yeah.
Guys, this week, the elimination, if you will, like I'm putting that in air quotes, was them like doing the newlywed game, right? Like, what's your partner's favorite sexual position?
Mm-hmm.
Legit question they asked.
Yep.
And you'll be like, okay, like missionary, doggy, reverse cowgirl. No, they threw Eiffel Tower in there.
Apparently that's a favorite position for somebody.
Could be a favorite, right? And then if you got it wrong, what would happen? Maybe you get a water balloon thrown on you. Maybe TJ would hit a button and laugh at you. No. You get what, Mixie? What happens to you?
At All Star Shore, you get dunked into a massive, like 25-foot tall toilet that for some reason is full of vomit. Nondescript vomit that they did not go into detail about.
It looked like, when you vomit and it's not like chunky vomit. I'm sorry, guys. You're
Bile.
probably gagging. There you go.
There's a word for that.
Yeah. It's just like the water that comes. It's just like, bleh, and it's just water spewing out of you, Like they do on Challenge when they throw up after the drinks. It's just that.
Yeah. That might have been where they collected it from. Maybe we connected all of the dots.
Great. Yeah, so that's what they got dunked into, like up to their chin, not just their feet. They weren't just like delicately dropped in. No. They're dunked all the way in. And then when we introduce people, you know how we do on the challenge? You know what they did for some guy who was from Germany? They showed him on his show putting a condom over his head and blowing it up until it exploded on his face.
So good. Watch it. It's on MTV. You guys know MTV because you watch the challenge.
No excuses. Watch the motherfucking show, please. All the people who work on the show are messaging us saying, thank you for letting people know about the show. So go watch their show, and then maybe on their social media comments, maybe follow them. Maybe when they post a reel, you can go, hey, the right reality sent me here.
Just a thought.
I mean, if you don't want to buy Liquid IV, that's what you can do for us, okay? While we're talking about something kind of off topic, can I ask you a question about Skittles, Mixie?
Oh, we're talking about Skittles.
We're talking about Skittles because I
had this thought. We're going to taste the rainbow.
That's my question.
Oh.
Are you a Skittles fan?
I love Skittles.
So when you get a handful of Skittles like I've got here, and you look at this handful of Skittles, how would you go about eating this handful of Skittles?
Oh, I eat by color.
Mixie, I'm so happy you said this. I'm so happy you said this.
Is that you?
Usually fight about these things.
Really?
Of course.
Sociopaths dump it in their mouth.
I'm grabbing the purples.
Yes.
I'm eating the purples together. I'm grabbing the reds. I eat the reds together.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who do I say for last?
Yes. Do you eat your favorite first or last?
Last. Definitely last.
This man's a genius.
I'm so glad we finally agree on a food thing.
We finally agree on a food thing. I'm so happy for us. Oh my gosh. What a monumental moment for us.
Skittles bringing us together. Skittles, where's our brand deal?
Taste the friendship is what it should be.
Oh my God. Skittles, if you send us a packet of Skittles that says taste the friendship, you'll get free promo.
Every time.
Every time.
You're getting free promo right now. We never give free promo.
As a matter of fact, we never. Okay. Now we'll wrap up.
Oh
this
God,
free
you're gonna
Skittles
push
plug
it. You're gonna push it
by asking you. No. I'm just gonna ask you since you finished last like I do, wink, wink, which one do you eat last?
Did you show me green because it's green for you? Because it's green for me.
It's green or yellow for me.
Yellow is the second to last.
Let's go! Skittles bringing us together like no food has ever done.
This has really just like brought a new... I feel rejuvenated by this realization that we both eat Skittles correctly.
And apparently this is the original lime up. I guess they took lime out for a while. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, I thought you were going to say that there's not blue, so it's not the rainbow, which I was going to fight for as well. But we don't have to get into that right now.
We don't have to do that. We're on the same page, so I like that. I was eating some Skittles yesterday, and I was like, I need to bring this up next time I talk to Mixie on the podcast to see.
I'm really glad you did.
Nothing we disagree with. We're back. We're fucking back.
You know what else brought me back? Tori went upside down on Cassidy's lap, feeding cake to face, becoming this week.
I knew it.
Ass of the week. Ass of the week.
Mixie, she was like, before that, she was just like, Cassidy was backing it up, and she was like, pow.
Yep.
Pow, pow.
I almost gave it the ass slap, but she fed cake to her.
And there was a jiggle there, too. It wasn't just like up. This was like a big-time stripper move. Shout out Tori.
Amazing move. A well-deserved ass of the week. In an episode full of asses, this ass stood out.
Congratulations, Tori. Ass of the week. Big-time move from you. This, what I feel like was almost lost footage that Troy was telling us during our interview when she told him, you know, how to do striptease and a lap dance. Like, we saw some of that stuff. So.
We just got a little glimpse. I agree with you. We definitely did.
Peek behind the curtain, if you will. A little peek behind the curtain. Thank you so much. So I have to badmouth Michaela again one more time.
The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. This party was so much fun. Josh said, because Josh has retweeted us 2 weeks in a row with a gif about him, no big deal. He said, we all got absolutely hammered that night. And I think I replied, no way.
Couldn't tell.
Where did that come from? Now, people who aren't the number one might just look at that party and be like, oh man, everybody in the house was having a good time. Everybody was partying, right? The right reality takes every detail into consideration.
Oh.
The right reality, at some point during this makeout, they tried to throw me a curveball, be like, oh, look at these two hot girls making out. I bet you won't notice who's not there. And I went, oh, yeah, you're right. I am not noticing who's not there. Let me go back to the beginning of this party where they took the team photo. And let me see who's not there. Is it Chanel and Michaela? Were they not at this party? Oh, but keep playing, Steven. Pause at every wide shot and make sure you're not throwing one of them under the bus. Okay, Chanel, you did show up. Michaela, nowhere to be found.
But she got all dressed up.
For what? I didn't see her anywhere.
I saw her being a pain in the ass in the kitchen, and Cassidy calling a spade a spade.
Let's go, Cassidy. I want more out of this out of you. I want more of this out of you. Michaela said to us, to the camera, to America, to the hotties, to me and Mixie specifically, Cassidy sees me without emotions, that I'm too calculated and whatever, all while being too calculated and delivering every time she talks in an interview in a monotone way.
Deadpan. Yeah, I agree. It was wild. It was wild.
Wild. She thinks I'm too calculated. And yet she sat there and tried to tell us, like, well, so for this week, I need to make sure that this, because if next week it's this, then the only two people that can vote in are this. Too calculated. Maybe your list from a few seasons ago was too calculated. Maybe people have told you you're too calculated.
Yeah, chill the fuck out. Let's get into the elimination. We have everybody walk out into the elimination floor, And what do I see but Corey doing his best Baby Hulk cosplay? In a white puffy jacket. Sir, do not take fashion advice from Baby Hulk. We just talked about this.
He's a baby.
He's a baby. He doesn't know how to dress himself. You cannot dress like him. Don't cosplay Baby Hulk. You don't need to do that.
No, you're a good-looking dude. Like, you don't need to cosplay. Come on, man.
Upsetting. But we get to the elimination floor. We find out that, wow, Tyler's going to go in. Who was surprised by that?
I'm not raising my hand for those of you not watching on YouTube.
Nobody. Yep. We knew that was coming.
We build this entire episode up about Tori getting in. Oh, maybe we're going to throw Tori in. And it was like, Tyler's got 17 votes. And it's like, well, there's not 17 people here. Don't worry about that, man.
It says Tyler. Bing, 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 bing.
Some say it's still going off in his ears at this moment.
Probably.
Interesting question that I would like to ask the cast member. Were you able to hear those dings while you were there? Or was that put in later? Are we just hearing the dings? You know,
that is a good question.
Thank you.
Because the dings really do drive it home. And I hope that they're hearing them. Because they're important dings. They're very important dings, for sure. This elimination reminded me of something.
Okay.
Did it remind you of anything?
Remind me of elementary school.
Oh, because it was tag?
Because it was tag.
Well, it reminded me of All-Star Shore Season 1, where they weren't allowed to touch the sand and they had to use kegs to go from one side to the other side.
Are you saying they stole an idea from All-Star Shore? Is that what you're maybe insinuating here?
If I was part of the Challenge USA's production team and I, like a good, hard-hitting production coordinator that I am and director, I would watch the best shows that have been coming out recently, like All-Star Shore, and get some, quote, ideas. Now, was it a copy-paste? No, but I feel like those barrels could have even been the kegs that we saw at All-Star Shore Season 1. I liked this elimination, but it fell a little flat compared to the daily. The daily felt like really good. We're getting gritty. Just fucking do a pole wrestle. Like, come on.
It's not happening. They're not going to do it, okay?
Hall brawl it up.
With
they just
all
wrestled.
Challenge people, and they're not going to do any challenge eliminations. And it's going to be...
Boo.
You know what? It is what it is. I've already made peace with that a long time ago. I would like to ask you a question, because... Okay. I've been thinking about this for, I watched yesterday. I've been thinking about this since I watched this yesterday. Probably about 24 hours ago I was watching this right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Mixie, have you played tag before?
I'm an athlete, Steven. How dare you even ask me that question?
I apologize. But it's kind of needed to set up the joke, if you will. So,
got you. Okay.
Have you played tag before?
Yeah. Have you?
Okay. I have.
Okay.
Have you, while playing tag, been the person that was being chased? Being the person that's not it, if you will?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to ask you this because you are an athlete.
Okay. Thank you for
what
acknowledging
is kind of the strategy, if you will, of playing tag if you're not it? Like, what's the number one strategy to, like, continue to not be it?
You stay as far away from the person that is it.
See, that's what I'm thinking. But Chris was like, let me just move closer towards you.
Yeah,
and throw barrels at you.
He was doing that, wasn't he? I mean, I guess it worked. We can't knock it. He won.
I don't get it. I don't get what happened here. How did he still win when he went towards the guy tagging him? That's the, like, I would just stay right there. I wouldn't move. I'd be like, okay, come on over.
I fully agree with you. When they
started, one barrel to the right and then one barrel to the left. And then I move back to the right and back to the left.
But do they even need to do that? I would have just stood there and saved my energy and waited until they started, like, coming at one direction and start going the opposite way. I thought the same thing.
I have to think that they said you have to keep moving. Because if not, you're right. All they would have done is just stay there. And Tyler even like moved some, right? Like he was moving and I was like, but he wasn't going straight. He was kind of like going sideways.
Yes.
And then tried to like cut back on an angle. But I was like, why is he's going right for him? And then like, I'm going to throw a barrel, the things that he needs to use to get closer to me. Because now he's got multiple barrels. He could just jump. I don't know how he won.
Yes.
He won by 32 seconds. Somehow by playing tag incorrectly.
We got it. Did we see the clock in the corner? We got a clock for 1
second.
I think it was like at 8 seconds. They showed us a clock. I can see that you can put a clock on the screen, and I acknowledge it and I appreciate it. I've been asking for clocks, and that's great. Desi said this was the shortest elimination they've had all season. Where has the clocks been before this? I don't get the decision making with the clocks. Are they like, do they have like a supers quota? Like they need to have a certain amount of
It makes no sense to me, because if it was this close, you could like show at a minute. For you to like put it up at like 5 to 8 seconds or like 3 to 6 seconds, I understand TJ just blew the thing.
We can see them where they started.
Yeah, I saw them just like going, okay, I move now, and the clock's up. I get that it was just 2 seconds.
They're toying with us. I really think
are.
they're doing this on purpose. They're really just trying to piss us off, because
They gave us one at the beginning with the Johnny and Cara Maria's boyfriend, Polly's elimination.
yeah,
Like they gave, I was like, whoa, look how long they're doing this. This is crazy. They gave it to us another time, but it's like, don't put it up for a couple seconds. What a cock tease.
especially if you're gonna put it up, you're gonna and not put it up sometimes. You're gonna put it up for ones again at the very beginning where the decision of who wins is based off of time.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to see it in the Poly one and in the one where the balls are spinning around, right? Because that clearly took forever for them to do it. So we wanted to see the time pass. When you're giving a minute and a half to get to the other person, I don't need to see it. That tells me who wins.
I'm good. Don't put it up. It's not needed here, sir. For 2 reasons.
I've decided. It's they're doing it to fuck with us. This is the new previously on. They're just going to put clocks when we don't need them. This is the new one. This is what's happening.
God damn it, you figured it out, because of course you have. Of course you figured it out, Mixie. I will say this. I thought they were on our side earlier in this episode, Mixie, because what have we always asked for? We said on the last episode, on episode 1 of All-Star Show, we're like, this is what the challenge is mixing. 2 people legit banged on the first episode. And we're like, this is the shit challenge is mixing. People getting drunk, hooking up, making out. And then they listen to us, like, putting that segment in there and like, we're going to put a clock up. So they even themselves out. They canceled it out.
I don't know, Steven. I'm going to keep a very close eye on when we get clocks and when we don't. And I guarantee they're going to start popping up when we don't need them. And they're going to be non-existent when it would be nice to know the time that's passed.
I would like challenge stats, if you're listening, to please keep this information. If you can, just add this to the multiple things you keep track of. I need when call-outs are placed when they're not needed versus when call-outs are placed when they are needed. Here's a spoiler alert. The percentages are going to be wildly different from each other. Okay? Oh boy. Well, we made it to the end, Mixie. We made it to the end. It was a wild ride, that episode.
We did. We talked about some good shit. There was some great ass conversation. Honestly,
we didn't even
I'm
talk
just
about
really
Josh
happy.
falling out of his chair. I mean,
yeah, there was
great.
so much. This was a good episode. We're back on the track of good episodes. Got a good daily in there. I'm cautiously optimistic.
So this is the final thing I've written down. You said last week the pendulum had shifted way to the bad side. Mm-hmm. Has it moved back for you? Because I feel like it did.
I think it did. I would say we are in the middle of the pendulum. Next episode is really going to decide which way the pendulum is swinging, and I cannot wait to discuss that with you when we see the next episode. I actually think I didn't watch the preview, or if I did, It wasn't good enough to remember, so that's not a good sign.
See, I'm going to say the pendulum went 3/4 of the way to the other side. We got a makeout. We got some cheeks. Like, what a great ass of the week.
Yes, you are right. But we had 2 really bad episodes back to back.
We did, but they had to do that to get us back. And yeah, Michaela was just talking out of her butt. So yeah, I get it. All right.
I'd say we're in the middle. Let's see.
As we leave, we do have a review this week. Thank you so much.
Hey, review. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Since we've done a review. Okay, this one comes from RTOOC. RTOOC. Man, you just got a free song out of this. It's 5 stars. It says best all around podcast, 5 stars. It says this has to be the 2 best hosts in a challenge all-star show. Well, it says all-star. I assume you mean all-star show. Temptation Island podcast out there. I am here for Mixie and Steven with a V every week. So I don't know if that was by design, sir, or ma'am, or you, they, them.
Yes.
But what a absolute spelling of your name.
I've been called worse. Again, I've been called worse. These things don't really affect me. I have a weird name. I get that. It's also not what my parents gave me. I'm Madonna. You know what I mean? I'm Mixie. I get it. We need to learn. We all need to understand it together, and we'll get there eventually. It's not like it's written in a bunch of places that you had to scroll past to get to the point where you needed to leave the review, but it's fine. I'm not offended. You engaged, and you know I love engagement. That's all I ask for. If you would like to engage, you can go to Apple Podcasts and leave a review. Nothing's stopping you.
Can.
Maybe spell my name right. You don't have to, but you could.
Mixie, but that's fine. We're here now. We're at 4.5. Tim Apple's dealing with it still currently because we're at 4.5, and it's Steven with a PH. Okay, so we appreciate you. You might be new, but we're here now.
Yes. Thank you for the engagement, as always.
Thank you so much for the engagement. That will do it for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. All-Star Shore is coming up very soon. Please go over there. Just do it for us. And again, just subscribe on YouTube, please, for the love of God. We need a couple more of you over there. So just do it. You don't have to watch. Just subscribe. Okay, that's it. We're not going to bother you anymore with that. We love you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.